always get asked what that song is about. We say, oh, there's a little problem in the cockpit. Well, I'll tell you now. Somebody said there might be a sexy joke to it or whatever, but people are just so pandemic brained these days. No, no, the cockpit is the place where the airplane is controlled in for flying and all the instrumentation, whether it's on autopilot or on manual flying. And it's the same with our brain. And sometimes when we're anxious and depressed, there's a little problem in the cockpit. So that's where the song's from. Anyway, hi, welcome to Gold Diggers. Thank you for being here. In fact, no, congratulations for being here because that means you are watching things that give you great education. You get to eavesdrop on great conversations and you get your mental health tip from me. Welcome to my office. This is the Project Study Space, and my name is Gang. I'm also a gold digger, sort of. you know, I used to play football when I was a tiny one, and I was so tiny, and the world was so young. There was still a position called sweeper. That's how old I am because I was a sweeper. I understand there's a different word for it now. Anyway, we don't care. Today, we're going to expand our emotional literacy glossary of terms because last week I said if you're more accurate with your words, it just makes more sense. Diba? I gave an example about if you're angry at your mom or annoyed at your mom, and if you just choose the right word, parang you can see the world of difference in your reaction. And when your reaction is different, your behavior is different. When you say I'm angry compared to I'm annoyed. So I'm all for accuracy in words. So tonight, I just want us to be super duper duper accurate when we use and toss around terms like these: antisocial and asocial. This is really more about the term antisocial because we toss it around so much, thinking that it's about someone who is introverted or somebody who doesn't go out, doesn't like people. Well, we are semi wrong. We are wrong, actually. Um, I know it's colloquially used na, common use na yan, antisocial, but it's just really helpful if we're more accurate with the meanings of words that we toss around, especially when describing personalities. So before I can tell you what what antisocial is, we're gonna have to discuss what social means, right? Social is exactly what you think it is. Someone that can who can form relationships, healthy, interdependent, cooperative relationships. Someone who can actually thrive and adjust to a team, a group. Not. I don't mean that they don't have disagreements. Of course, that happens. In fact, that's part of the interaction. But someone who can at least thrive within an interdependent alliance with others. So it's usually marked, and an indicator is you're capable of pleasant companionship. So there's an assumption that you can communicate and you can communicate well. So that's a social person. So let's talk about asocial and antisocial because these are two different things. An asocial person, this is usually the quiet, awkward one, who we normally declare as introverted, but we're gonna have to redefine that too because there are introverts who are actually sociable. They just get tired fast, but it's a whole different thing. But asocial people generally are passively unsocial and quiet and a little bit awkward. The antisocial person is aggressively antisocial. So meaning, hindi siya kasing shy. Pwede siyang mag-engage in a party, pwedeng magbangka. You know what, this is sort of your friend who, who they can stand to be mean to another. This is also the person who kayang-kaya nila to make someone awkward or embarrassed. This is the aggressively unsocial person. So the, both there's similarities. Both cannot pick up social cues so well. Like they can't read the room very well. So either they'll just shrink away or say something that's aggressive to someone else. So generally they can't hold an exchange too well, and predominantly they're not the super friendly one. Okay. But if you take it to the extreme, I really wanted to make these drawings a little bigger, but it might scare you because the aggressive antisocial person in this artwork is very scary. So taken to the extreme, sorry, taken to, I just like the artwork. Anyway, taken to the extreme, the asocial person will isolate. Yung talagang hindi lalabas, stays in the room. I know it sounds like us these days, but we are not we are not asocial by nature. We're asocial because our government can't decide which quarantine format it is now. So, and then there is also a virus that we would like to avoid, not so much for us if we have a good immune system, but so that we don't give it to someone else. So, taken to an extreme in a vacuum, an asocial person can isolate, but taken to an extreme, an antisocial person is actually capable of a bar brawl. They can be violent. They can be the ones that nakikipagsuntukan in a bar, notwithstanding if they're very drunk, ganyan yun yung disposition, predisposition. Kaya nila kasi ano mang tawag doon, contrarian. Parang kaya nilang laging, parang they thrive on arguments. May mga ganyan. So please remember that this is very different from the one with an antisocial personality disorder. Okay? Iba yung disorder, babalik ako ng slide ha. Iba yung disorder sa antisocial behavior lang. Iba yon. Yung may disorder at nasa personality na. Alam mo kung sino tong mga to? Ito yung sociopath at psychopath. Ibang-iba to. Okay? Ang antisocial personality disorder, they're really incapable of sympathy. Like they don't really care how the other person will feel. They're capable of hurting another with no consequence, with no lost sleep. Can they be dangerous? Yes, they really can be dangerous. They can cause harm. That's the antisocial personality disorder. In fact, that APD, which is usually what we call it, antisocial social personality disorder, what falls under this is the sociopath and the psychopath. So that's actually our topic next week. Okay, so and then we'll see and we can describe. Because we toss around these terms too, like, oh, he's such a sociopath. Oh, he's such a psychopath, and um, and that's not accurate. That's not accurate. It's really helpful to be more accurate in our emotional literacy, mood disorder literacy, so that we know, when we have the articulation, when we have the words for it, it's easier to manage mental wellness. So our mental health exercise for today. Ooh, it's not exactly a tip. It's a quiz. Okay. If a person is shy, she is possibly blank. If a person is aggressive, obnoxious, and mean in a social setting like nagpapahiya ng friends, she is possibly blank. I'm just giving the pronoun he or rest tonight, okay? So I'm just using she. If a person is violent, no regard for the safety of others, she may be someone with blank. And the answers, because you're supposed to get the answers. Ta-da! Did you get 3 out of 3? Good, because that's the goal. If a person is just shy and awkward and maybe just stands in the corner, medyo wallflower, kabado, and that's asocial. If somebody is capable of mingling and actually being part of the conversation, but has no regard for somebody being embarrassed, can be mean to someone and put someone in an awkward spot, possibly antisocial. But if it's antisocial personality disorder, this is someone that can cross over to violence and has no regard for the safety of others. And I can't stress this enough. Emotional literacy is exactly that. Literacy is you can read, right? Now, how can you read if you don't know the words? So that is our Thursday mental health quiz and tip and lesson. So this week you can say that. Oh, I know now what. And don't say antisocial if someone is just shy, because it really, really helps our mental wellness when we are clear. So to summarize, I think the reason why I really want to cover this is because we tend to use the term so loosely. When somebody is neat, we call them OCD, obsessive compulsive. When someone is shy, it's antisocial. Then baka social anxiety disorder yun. Iba yun na. That's so different. So gold digger, you're gonna have to stay accurate with your words because we have no mental wellness context so much in the Philippines. We don't even have words for it. Our words for mental wellness are really just summa cum laude or taong grasa, which is really, I mean, what about the people in between? So hopefully tonight gave you a little more sunshine, sunlight on the dark world that is learning about mental wellness. But you know what? When you find the right word, it's just easier to take care of it. Next week, psychopath and sociopath. Okay, that's what we're talking about. In the meantime, stay statistically well, stay statistically normal, and regulate your moods. 478, you can breathe. You know that now. Bye.